Raid Shadow Legends, we are here to talk about the Shadowkin faction. For 2 days on the test server, on stream, we went over these, each and every single one of them, put the best gear on them. We spent 25,000 in energy over in Spider to make sure we had every banner, every neck, and every ring available for them. I am not impressed with the Shadowkin faction. I'm going to go over each and every one of these, but right now, this new faction just came out, and I was expecting it to have somebody like a Melga or Ursula, somebody that could bring your team back to life, somebody pretty impressive with some kind of revive in there. Hell, I would have been happy if we would have had a Hermit in that team to come over there and help Shadowkin out. Not only for faction wars, which yes, I know Shadowkins will get some new champions added. We know that, but it's new, it's out. I would have really liked to see something in here that's even, what are the other orcs? Like the Pierced, somebody like Stagnite or the Pierced or Armstrong, somebody that does AoE decrease defense, AoE decrease attack, either one of those on a 3-turn cooldown, and then also somebody that's a really good support to come in here and help us out with heals and with reviving, which would have been great if I could get down to doors really quick and show you what I'm talking about with Melga. That would have been fantastic if they had something like that. Yes, I know, they'll eventually get that. They will. But when you come out with a brand new faction and there aren't that many champions and you don't bring the necessary things that we need, it's kind of hard then to think about, okay, Faction Wars. Faction Wars is coming out. I barely have any of these guys. The rares are terrible. The uncommons are terrible. The epics, we're going to go over every single epic and every single legendary. Don't even bother with the rares. I'm telling you, there are far better rares in the world, and these rares to help you get through Faction Wars aren't going to be it. Genshin is sweet, and if you've seen his animations, you've watched me on stream playing for 2 days straight, this is my favorite champion out of all of them just because his moves are so badass. Can he come over here and kill anybody in arena? He can. He can even go through Swift Parry because he ignores Unkillable and go through shields. He can just sit there and murder people, probably even take out the person that's covered by Necrypt by going through the shield and Unkillable and just taking them out completely, and he gets a 60% turn meter increase. Then we have an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown where we get a decreased defense of 60% plus turn meter increase again, and then we get turn meter increase on the A1. Is he fun? Yeah, he's a lot of fun. Will he be top tier in arena? I don't think so, because though he can go through and take out somebody with Swift Parry, there's always 2 healers on the team. After that, he gets a 60% turn meter increase, but it's still not fast enough to come around and loop back around and try to beat everybody else down. It doesn't usually work that way. This guy is amazing, and I love the way he moves. Top tier, though, like little Miss Annie, isn't top tier arena. Can she deplete some people? She can, but she's not top tier arena in what people usually play with. This guy can be played, but the moment you kill somebody with this, they're just going to be revived back. If they had Swift Parry and they get taken down again, that Swift Parry can proc again. So yes, he's strong. He's tons of fun going through PvE content because you get this AoE decreased defense, and then you get all these other hits with constant turn meter, and he looks amazing. But as far as being top tier in the game or taking position over other people that are already out there, that's not him. But I do think he's the best out of all the Shadowkins. I did a dedicated video on Yoshi already. We're going to find some really cool stuff to do with this in arena along with his passive. We're also going to take advantage of this increased accuracy, not only in arena, but also in the Doom Tower. So if you saw my video on him, getting that 50% chance to throw out that fear just in Doom Tower, along with that increased accuracy for you in Doom Tower, along with burns coming in there and a stun are really going to help you out. This guy is good to get. I'm telling you, if you don't get this guy, eventually you're going to regret it because we're going to have ways in arena to really take advantage of this increased accuracy, increased attack, and then maybe even 100% chance to put up this fear depending on who we're playing against. This guy can be strong. So I would go ahead and make sure you do the fusion. Get that done. Gintoro. I like the way this guy looks as well. It was fun playing him. Can he do well for you on your clan boss? On your unkillable clan boss? Yes. But you know who else can do well and do just as much damage? Somebody like Fane. Just as much damage and do well on your unkillable clan boss. So since there are other people out there, this guy's not taking the place of Draco, right? Draco Morph is #1, will probably always be #1. He's not taking that spot no matter what you do with this guy. Can he hit hard, especially when he gets this on cooldown and he does 5 hits here? Yeah, extremely hard. You could put him in Relentless, you could put him in something else to do more damage. If you have a 2 Man-Eater comp, you have 3 other slots where you can fill it up with whatever you want. You can put him in there. He's gonna do well. But there's already epic champions out there that do really well. Something like Ice Golem, where you have multiple targets, this won't activate because you keep switching targets. It doesn't have enough time to do this. On bosses, it can help you out, but going through waves, unless you're really killing, taking a turn, killing, taking a turn, which he can do that, but he doesn't have the AI like Septimus to keep doing it. Unfortunately, it's also not one of those, do damage based off of enemy max HP is how we get through a lot of that stuff with your Royal Guards, with your Cold Hearts, with your Seer. So he can't really take that role in dungeons for you. There's no reason for you to build him up for that. And in Arena, he looks like he's got some cool stuff for Arena. If you see another opponent that's about to take a turn, you steal that, and then hopefully you'll take a turn very quickly afterwards. And then if there was something like a Madame Cirrus that you did a decreased defense and stripped everything from them, you could go in there and kill everybody with this A1. Get the turn meter increase right here so you can make them stronger and slower, and that could work for you. As long as Swift Parry didn't proc, then he doesn't get a kill, then he doesn't take another turn, and so on. And you got to make sure he's really strong. Can he do that? Sure. As long as he doesn't weak hit, we go up against some weak hit or some Veil people, or if we can get that Veil person at the very end, then we'll be okay. But there's a lot of force champions out there in Arena, especially Arena defense. Those Mountain Kings and those Candrafons are everywhere, so it's going to be a little hard to play that and bet on this guy. I don't think you're going to see this guy top tier out there used all the time. Can he be effective in all the things that I just said with him in Arena? He can. He can even be fun for you. So I'm not throwing him out the window. I'm just saying that he's got limitations, right? Like everybody else in this game, there are certain limitations. And if you have a big roster and are already using somebody else, then you might not need to use this guy. You might not need to worry about leveling him up and using him for either your clan boss or for Arena. The Frog is probably the best epic out here. He can do heals, he can do ally protect, and heal himself, plus he has a passive to put up poisons. But whenever you have a 3-turn cooldown to do an ally protect of 50%, plus put up shields on your people and heal yourself, that's pretty damn strong on a 3-turn cooldown. So getting through faction wars, of course, progression, of course, use this guy. Not only that, he's got to provoke. And it's not a 100% chance to provoke, that's fine because he's guarding everybody. You kind of don't want him to provoke all the time. You want them to go over and hit somebody else that he already covered up with shields and with ally protect. And then over here we get a decreased attack. Really strong, right? This all shouts clan boss, bosses, anything else that you do, especially faction wars. It's going to be a good guy. Poison here. Use him in the clan boss if you're lacking progression. Get in there and use this guy. This guy is actually, he worked out really well for us. My next favorite is Oboro. This girl is pretty fun and she looks damn amazing. She's a single target damage dealer and she can hide underneath Perfect Veil for 100% of the time as long as it's off cooldown when you go into the next wave, right? When you zone into the next wave, if it's off cooldown and you're fast enough, you'll do this move to go under Veil and you'll be fine. Nobody can hit you. So going through, progressing through the game, getting through waves, it's really good to use her. I think this is a good champion to use, though I don't think the best champion. I think there's a lot of other epics out there that can help you out. This is more for fun. Even at in-game using her for fun, she's single target unless you have a whole bunch of debuffs up here to make her do AoE, and then the AoE damage is pretty decent, not crazy. Plus we get a decreased defense, which is really strong. We're going to need that in Faction Wars because Genshin is the only other one we have with an AoE decreased defense. This transfer is very good as well. We use this transfer on the Dragon. We transferred over all the debuffs. She was still under Veil, so she's taking a little bit less damage, though she is very fragile. We took her into the Nether Spider because we wanted to transfer over and then eventually do some AoE, but you know, she's an attack-based champion. She doesn't have a lot of HP. She doesn't have a lot of defense, and she fell over. She just kept falling over too easily. When the Nether Spider is pretty easy to beat on its own, all you have to do is get removal in there. It didn't make sense to bring her in. It just did, like, she didn't even, we weren't even getting up enough debuffs for her to come in and do the AoE to see what she would do to the small spiderlings, and it just did not work out. But this was a fun champion. But in today's game, the way that we play the game, I would not recommend anybody ever leveling her up unless this is the only epic you ever grab and you do have some kind of support and you want to book her out and make sure she gets under Veil the whole entire time to help you progress in the game. Maybe it's viable. That's a big maybe. This girl right here is hot garbage. I don't like her whatsoever. Her whole entire kit with these block buffs. Then we come over here, we do 3 random attacks for the weekend, and this one lowers the cooldown each time we kill somebody. Do we need another 12-3 Brutal Farmer? You don't. 12-3 Brutal can be farmed by anybody. We had her in top tier gear. We put the best accessories on her. We threw her into Nightmare Campaign 12-6. She couldn't make it through there. She just could not do it. She couldn't even one-shot here on this ability. So you know it's not hitting that great. Look at these stats. She's got good attack actually, but that HP is super low. Defense is good. The rest of it's okay. The attack is amazing, but it's still not enough. I'm going to tell you right now, everybody wants Asachi because they're making comments about her and they're talking about how amazing she looks. But look at this. She can revive somebody just like Altan can do. But you know what? Altan can stay alive and put out the damage. This girl cannot stay alive and put out the damage at the same time. It is impossible for an attack-based champion like this to put out mass amount of damage and stay alive unless you have those accessories that are going to come out way later on where we get an HP shield based off of the damage we do, because she does have an AoE damage here, which is decent. It's not even that great. So say, okay, you're already like, Stu, I'm going to put her in a stun set, and I'm going to go through the Doom Tower. Well, if you have Sylar, please just use Sylar. She has AoE on everything she does. She has decreased accuracy already for you on Sylar, and she's a way better champion than this champion. This champion, you're going to try to make her do damage, and she's just going to die. Over and over die, or you're going to try to put her in her stun set as support, and then she's not really going to revive somebody, maybe off of luck. Okay, I'll give you that. And then she'll attack right here, put up a leech for 2 turns on a 2-turn cooldown, and then increase attack, then give a fill turn meter, which really you don't need. I mean, it's like she's got a really weird mixed bag of tricks. I'm not in love with her, but maybe you could make something work with her. I'm sure if you put her in lifesteal gear, if this is the only epic you have out there, and you go through the game with her, you can progress. Lifesteal gear with an AoE on the A1, and then you come in here, get this increased attack with this turn meter, that might trip you up because really you'd rather be attacking and getting life back at that time. You might be able to do some things with her and bring some of your allies back. So try her out. Try her out if she's the only one. Most times I'm talking about if you don't, not even a robust roster. If you just have a decent roster, because there's so many good epics out there now. I'm talking top tier epics out there now that you should have a few of them. And when you get something like this, you should think twice before saying, do I really want to level this one up? Do I really want to put my books into something like that? So you let me know your opinions down below. We talked about these 3 and we talked about these 4. There is really no reason whatsoever for me to talk about these rares. These rares are some of the worst rares I've seen. Lots of single target, lots of other stuff that looks cool over here for Fire Knight. But then you come down to this passive that if she's going to cast this passive, why wouldn't she just hit 2 times and heal reduce instead of use this passive? Like, take this passive off the board. This guy's the all single target. He's got this 100% chance to stun here on a 3-turn cooldown. Good for him. And the Fanatic. The Fanatic's got nothing that I want to play with. There are a lot of epics now that do crazy stuff like this, a lot of them for your team, and that are much better, so go play those. But let me know what you think about each of these down below. Did I do them justice? Do you think otherwise? Let us all know. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. I will see you guys all in a video soon.